coming full-fledged with a helmet on my head with a shield and some sharp legs.
If you want to escape your life and hop into mine for 15 minutes, this is Tea Time with Trin. I'm your host, Trinity Tamara Jones, and we're on episode 11. So recently I allowed an individual I gave them enough power to take me back to my prior character. Oh my goodness, embarrassed, ashamed, but also extend myself grace and forgiveness and just understanding that, I've made a lot of progress and falling short is not the end of the world as long as I recognize it and hold myself accountable and, make sure I move better next time. But yeah, in this last episode, I mentioned how beautiful my simple life is, simple yet extraordinary, and definitely not easy. It's so difficult to choose to not react and respond in your most comfortable way possible. Yeah, just choosing to go the better route, It doesn't feel as good as doing what you're used to. But in addition to, talking about that simple life, I mentioned giving up my dreams that I had of, either cooking or acting. And it wasn't, I just want to clarify, it wasn't that I gave up the gift, because I know I cook well and I know that I act well, and the gifts I didn't let go of. The meaning or the reason behind wanting to be a chef or wanting to be an actress were selfish. I was chasing and idolizing money and attention, the fame, recognition. It was self. It wasn't loving God. It wasn't spiritual. It wasn't anything meaningful. It was just basic, boring self. And I feel like it's more extraordinary to move in life for God. It's more abnormal. It's the usual is to just live life, la-di-da-di, do whatever you want. I do what I want, when I want, how I want. Where I used to say that. Oh my goodness. That's the problem. That's the problem. You do what you want, when you want, how you want, where you want. And that's why your life's a mess. Oh, that's not about anyone particular, by the way. Like I said, I was like that. And I'm trying so hard to not be that. I do get caught up, though. I get caught up in those moments, and that comes back, and I'm triggered. I'm just like, wait a second. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You've chosen to not live for you, to not do for you, to not move for you. And that's a day-by-day choice. You don't just pick and choose when to be that. My identity is a child of God. That is who I am. That is what I identify as. So when you come for that with me, that's like, ooh, triggering. It is. It'll change the way that I interact with you, definitely. But it's all love. Just coming from my character will definitely get me out of character. Not get me out of character, but get me back to that character I was prior to knowing God. And we don't want that. I don't want that. I've worked so hard and come such a long way. But with that, though, giving up the plans that I had, that's what I was giving up. I kept the gifts. I know that I can become an actress under God and glorify God in that, and not go that route that I had, initially thought. And I'm still kind of going back and forth with Hollywood and the entertainment industry and this whole theory and, opinion of it being very demonic. And, I've been thinking about how a lot has come to light with a lot of people who's had a lot of money and a lot of attention. And you kind of have to think maybe every one of them have been in a situation or done some things. And just like anybody, like everybody makes mistakes, you know, everyone makes bad choices. But with someone with power and that much money, it's just the type of choices differ. And yeah, it just makes you think, like, maybe going that route is just not for your journey. And I'm good with going this way, with doing it for God and cooking because I love it. And I'm a foodie for real. Like, I live to eat. I do not eat to live. And I got that from my mama. I wanted to cook for her. I wanted to follow in her footsteps, you know, as becoming a chef. And I wanted to fulfill the dreams that she didn't, which was own a restaurant and run a restaurant. And, you know, that was still for the wrong reasons. And I can still do these things that I wanted to do just under God, following God, aligning with Him, glorifying Him, you know, walking with Him. And that's what I was talking about. It wasn't that you don't give up on the things that you're good at. Don't give up on your gifts. And along the way with God, walking with God in that journey, you're gonna recognize other gifts that you didn't even know you had. In this journey, I recognize that I really enjoy reading certain genres, and I want to write something one day. And I never had, or I always had thoughts about it, but it was so like far-fetched. I was like, yeah, right. You know, I've kind of have this image of being this, like, at least in my family, of being like the slow, ditzy one. And, you know, I take that because sometimes it gives. But I really do have this vision and this plan, and it came from God. And I'm so excited to see it flourish. I need Him to make it happen. So, you know, when you're living for Him and moving for Him, when you decide that, you make those choices, then like all the choices you make have to align with Him, you know, and that's walking with Him. That's living your life like that. So when you live like that, it isn't a my way or the highway. It isn't I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it, how I want to do it, yada yada. I get caught up sometimes, but overall, I pray and I talk to God and I meditate prior to making any type of real decisions in my life. And putting Him first has allowed me to have my desires in the best way. You know, God found it, using my gifts to glorify Him, and choosing to not make my own self-emotional choices, and choosing love and faith and grace will help me reach my full potential in my gifts. And right now, I feel like I can't even focus on my gifts because of everything happening. Like, I'm feeling like I'm getting into survival mode again. And, you know, we're making a plan. We're trying to get prepared. You know, we don't know what's coming. I have no idea. I just know things are weird right now. History is repeating itself. And you have to be just so out of touch to just be oblivious at this time right now, to choose to not listen or care or know anything. It's such a sad time. It's such a sad and scary time. And I am working on giving it to Him continuously. And like, you'll get caught up. You'll have a split second where you're entertaining thoughts that you shouldn't be entertaining. And man, like, I can't go a day without thinking about our safety and what's going to happen. I don't know. I haven't been able to hone in on my gifts and to allow them to flourish. Stuff's getting real. It's getting real outside. I'm praying away the scary thoughts, and I'm praying away the fear, and I'm relinquishing and I'm surrendering, and I'm asking for strength and wisdom and a calm spirit and mind right now, because panicking does no one any good. Being oblivious does no one any good. It's time to trust God, of course. It's always time to trust God and pray that fear away. Of course, give that fear away. You cannot panic during a time like this. Trust God does not mean sit on your hands and do nothing. Get educated. Get prepared. Fulfill your household with supplies and things needed to survive in times where you may not have power. You need to stock up on food and water and, battery operated things, first aid kits. Like it's time. You can't prepare for it all, and you can't panic, and you can't put fear in people. That's not helpful. When you're walking with God, you're floating. You're not in troubled waters. Not in them, you're on them. You're good. He's got you. That doesn't mean sit on your hands. Pray. Get it together. Gain some wisdom. Get some education. Don't do nothing. Please, I hope there's not a soul out there, an American citizen doing absolutely nothing at this time. I pray for all of us. I pray for this country. I pray for the lives that may be lost during this time, for the jobs that have been lost during this time, and the more to come. Like, this is insane. What's going on is absolutely crazy to be witnessing. And I feel like parents have the most fear right now, especially parents of little children. Give it to God, give it to God, give it to God, give it to God, give it to God. That's all you can do. I promise you. You're going to feel okay once you do. And those thoughts are going to keep coming back, and you just got to keep handling it. You got to keep doing it. Give it to God. Give it to Him. Because He knows. We don't know what's coming, but He knows what's coming. And just listen. Just listen. Be in His Word. Definitely don't sit on your hands. And I'm going to keep saying that. And I'm going to stand on that. Do something. Okay? Please. I say this with love. Like, please. I'm begging you. Don't do nothing. And don't be afraid. Don't sulk in your fear. And don't spread it. I had texted my sister something that was like super crazy and just based off of paranoia because of things I was partaking in. And I realized that, we were texting, so tone and energy couldn't really be expressed. So she took me very serious, and I was kind of just like, oh, wait a second. But I was talking about how, I was making a joke about how I felt like, we were going to get rounded up, we being minorities, and rounded up by the government and, the people in office right now. But I don't think that's literally going to happen. But my thoughts get very crazy, very violent and traumatic. And I'm just like, well, what if this happens? What if this happens? And you can't get caught up in your thoughts. You got to take them captive. You got to be quick about it, on your toes, because they'll send you down a rabbit hole that is hard to escape out of. It's okay. It's okay. God got us. God got you. Hone in, okay, on spirit. Cleave unto Him tight. But everything's going to be okay in the end. No matter what, it's going to be okay. Love, continue to spread love and to show forth love and respect and kindness during this time. And if you can help, we just need each other. Okay, we do. Community is key, and trust is key. Trust is the reason why we have issues. Okay, from jump. That's a deep one. That's for another episode. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening. Talk to God. Get close to God. I'm praying for us. I'm praying for y'all. I'm praying for this country. And God bless.
Believers, you better beware. The enemy is riding, get out of your chair. The call is for brothers and sisters of warfare. Step to this battlefield, I'm gonna bear.